Today we'll be working with an elapsed time word problem. The problem goes as followed. Elena goes to history class at 10:15 a.m. Her favorite class is art, where she'll get to paint. If Elena has art at 1:30 p.m., how long must she wait until she can paint in art class? By looking at this word problem, we have identified the starting point in time when she goes into her history class at 10:15. Her ending point in time would be 1:30 p.m. because that's when she starts her favorite class, which is art, and she'll be able to paint. In order to solve this word problem, we'll be using the linear method, shown here with the timeline below. As I previously said that the starting time was 10:15 a.m., will be shown right here with the 10 mark and with the time interval 15. When we have time, it is separated into 15-minute intervals because it is equal to 1/4 of an entire hour. In 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, and we group hours with base 60. It is similar to base 10 when we have 10 single units to form one rod, and we have our base 10. So when we have 60 individual minutes, we'll be able to form 1 hour. Making our connections from base 60 to base 10 will help you solve this word problem. So by beginning at 10:15, when she enters her history class, we need to make 60. We need to build our 60. In order to do that, we can use our 15-minute intervals by showing a little jump here, putting a 15 on top, showing another jump from the 10:15 to 10:30, and from 10:30 to 10:45 is another 15. In order to get to 11, to the nearest hour where we make 60, we need one more jump, which of 15. So starting at 10:15 here, we have shown one interval, another interval, and another interval, each interval equaling 15 minutes. Now that we have made 60, it is easier to determine our elapsed time since we have made our full hour. We are now at 11. And since our full hour is 11, we can go and make 60 more, which was 60 minutes, as 60 minutes equal 1 hour, and go from 11 to 12. And that is 1 hour. And since our time that she has art classes is not until 1:30 p.m., we also can go from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Notice how she initially started class at 10:15 a.m. and now we are in p.m. This is a misconception that many children have where time changes from a.m. to p.m. and assuming that at noon, time will go to the number 13. But since we group hours by 12 to form another, one, we must know that since we have reached 12, we start all over and go into 1. Another misconception that children have is that AM is typically during the daytime and PM is during the nighttime, but that is not the case whenever we take into consideration 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and those early morning hours when it's still dark outside. And when we have those afternoon hours from 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and 10 p.m., it is actually dark, so it is not good to classify AM and PM by simply if it's daytime or nighttime. So now that we have shown our 15-minute intervals from 10:15 to 11 a.m., we also have shown how from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. it is 1 hour, because we made 60 minutes into 1 hour. And from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. it is also another hour because we made our 60 minutes with 4 15-minute time intervals, reinforcing that 15-minute intervals are 1/4 of an entire hour, making 30-minute intervals half of an entire hour. So now we have until 1 p.m. However, Elena has art at 1:30 p.m. So we still need to build, since we cannot make 60 no longer, since if we did, it would be 2 p.m. and that's not the time she entered art, we would have to start by reinforcing our 15-minute time intervals. So from 1 p.m. to 1:15, it is 15 minutes. And another 15-minute interval would be 1:30. So now that we have accumulated both our time intervals and our hours, we can go ahead and determine to see how long Elena must wait until she can paint in her art class. So in order to determine and calculate the amount of time Elena must wait until she can paint in art class, we can simply do a T-chart with our hours on our left-hand side and our minutes on our right-hand side. This is because 60 minutes will regroup into 1 hour, as 60 minutes equal 1 hour. So in order to do that, we can calculate our different loops here of different time intervals. So we have 15, 15, 15, 1 entire hour with 0 minutes, because the 60 minutes were able to regroup into 1. Then I have another hour. Notice how I'm just counting where I just jumped across for every time interval. I have another 15 minutes and another 15 minutes. So as previously stated, when we were reinforcing our 15-minute time intervals as fractions, because 15 minutes is equivalent to 1/4 of an hour. So considering that in mind, I can have 4 15s, because 2 15s will make 30, and 2 more 15s will make 30. Remember, our goal is to always make 60 first. When I have 60, I know that this is going to be 1 hour. So after using up and checking off our 15, 15, 15, and 15, I am left with what? Just this ungrouped minutes of 15-minute time interval. So now I can just simply count how many hours I have. 1, 2, 3. And notice how I'll be separating them with a semicolon, as I did on my timeline. So the amount of time that Elena has to wait until she can paint in our class is 3 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you.